You're welcome back to the phone-in segment here on Trust Television, the space where your voice as a citizen helps shape national conversation. And today we'll be turning our attention to a matter that has remained both painful, persistent, and that is the unrelenting violence in Benue State. Over the past decade, Benue, once proudly known as the food basket of the nation, has become one of the epicenters of deadly farmer herders, clashes, and armed attacks. According to reports by the humanitarian agencies, not less than 5,000 lives have been lost in Benue State since 2015. Over 2 million people have been displaced across Benue, with many forced into makeshift IDP camps, losing access not just to their homes, but also to their farmlands, schools, livelihoods, and source of income. The socioeconomic impact has been devastating. Agricultural productivity has plummeted in many parts of the state. Local market that once bustled with grains and fruit and tubers are now empty and overrun by fear. The entire communities, some communities are entirely deserted. Children are growing up without schools. Families are mourning and poverty is deepening. Now, in response, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, during his visit to Makurdi, announced a significant peace-building step: the formation of a committee of elders made up of former and current governors, including the governor of Nasarawa State. Now, the president said, and I quote, "We were not elected to witness loss, create orphans, or build orphanage," expressing his firm resolve to restore peace and dignity to Benue State. He also called for the provision of lands for ranching, for cooperation between traditional rulers and government, and urged Governor Hassan earlier to embrace all stakeholders, even when the road is rough. "Get your lanterns," he said. "Seek out those leaders to join you in finding solution." So this morning we ask, agenda of peace. What should Tinubu's Benue Committee of Elders focus on? Is it land reforms, justice for victims, resettlement plans, or strengthening local security and dialogue? What should this community focus on? Now call us or share your thoughts via WhatsApp. What kind of peace should we be working on or working towards in Benue? What must be done differently this time? And how can they address the root causes of the crisis and ensure the safety and well-being of Benue's people? Share your thoughts with us by calling in or sending us a message via our social media handles. But before we get to take your calls, let us go on a quick break. When we get back, the phone section, we're going to start taking your calls. So we'll be going on a quick break. Do stay. All right, you're welcome back from that quick timeout. It's still Daybreak here on Trust TV. And like I said, it's time for our phone-in segment. And we, are asking, agenda for peace. What should Tinubu's Benue Committee of Elders focus on? Is it land reforms? Is it justice for victims? Is it resettlement plans or strengthening local security and dialogue? We visited Benue yesterday and, lots of various reactions came up from, the optics and, how it was being carried on. We saw students on uniforms lined up, excited to meet and welcome the president. And it raised questions as to, is this a state that is mourning? Should that happen? It raised questions to the sincerity of even the president's visit. What is happening? But given the backstory, now on June 13th, so we can understand where all of this is playing from, on June 13th, 2025, at least 150 to 200 villagers were killed in Yelwata community by suspected herders. Houses, farms, markets were burned. Now, this is not just the first time. This is part of a broader upsurge of violence across Benue, including April and early June attacks, killing dozens and others in local government areas across there. Now, the president visited Makodi, met injured victims at the hospital, and held a town hall with local elders. Before I continue, let's take our first caller this morning. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, my name is Mohammed from Zaria.
Good morning, Mohammed. Thank you for joining us. Go ahead with your thoughts.
I have seen the topic on these Benue issues of killing and so. See, I think this committee, Mr. President Committee, is going to be a business as usual in Nigeria. Because those who are supposed to be in the committee.
Do we still have Mohammed on the line? All right, Mohammed, do well to call back and let's still hear your thoughts. But from the beginning of what he said it seems like it's going to be a business as usual kind of committee that was set up. And that was why earlier I said the sincerity. Is it still a talk show as usual, or we're hoping to see positive results? Earlier, I think 2 days ago, we spoke about the president's visit expectation, and is it a show of good leadership? And people said it's okay, at least for federal presence to be felt in the state. Now, this has happened. There were also stories saying that the president couldn't access some communities due to rainfall and flooding, Yelwata in particular, which showed that he got to experience firsthand the condition of the roads and the condition of the livelihood of people there. Would Benue State receive any form of succor or difference? Would there be an impact from his visit? What exactly should the Benue Committee of Elders focus on? Should they focus on, reclaiming land or justice or anti-grazing laws or rebuilding? What exactly should they focus on that will foster the peace and unity that is needed in Benue and all the affected communities? Now, we have the next caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is John and I'm calling from Mina.
Good morning, John. How is Mina this morning?
Oh, well, beautiful.
All right, go ahead with your thoughts.
I think the formation of that committee from day one, let me be honest with all of us here, is faulty. Now, the principal actors are not members of this committee. My predecessor that spoke early enough said it's just going to be more of a jamboree kind of thing, and he doesn't see anything coming out of it. Now, since the principal actors are out of the equation, I can tell you that it's going to result into that. Who are the principal actors? The farmers, the herders. Are they included members of the committee? No, from the list that I can see. Number two, we're talking about land reforms. We're talking about land ownership. There is a clause which a lot of us are so silent about. There are people that are indigenous to that particular land. We know that land laws are there to govern every society. The indigeneity of this land ownership should also be examined. If I own a land and I say, no, I'm not giving my land out for grazing, would you force me to do it as a government? Now, because of that force, That is what leads to all these crises that we're talking about. From history, I don't think there's anything like the Fulani men being owners of lands in Benue. If they are not owners of lands in Benue, why the crisis? That is another angle we should look at. Again, a Fulani man will not come into a community without the knowledge of the leaders or the elders of the community. Even if they're coming for grazing, they pay royalty to the chiefs of that community to make their presence known. They don't just come in with their cattle herds just like that. And there's always a gentleman agreement between two groups that when we finish our harvest, that's when you come in. Anyone that comes in before the harvest, that's during the planting season, is coming for destruction. Now, if the committee can look at the nitty-gritty behind one, the formation of that committee, two, the ownership of land properties within and outside Benue State, because it's affecting virtually every state as we speak. Niger State is also inclusive. Now, if they can look at all these crises, there can be a solution to it. And under crisis management, there's what we call dialogue.
Uh-oh. We seem to have lost our caller. Please do also call back. I like where the conversation was going, and it was quite informative. Yes, he's made some selling points there, talking about what the elders should focus on and look at in details, which makes absolute sense. So to all other callers who are calling in, do well to share your thoughts. Do you have diverse opinions? Do you agree with what the callers who have called so far has said? The question is displayed on your screen. Please do well to send in WhatsApp messages right on time, so we'll take everything together. So you can send WhatsApp messages to the second number displayed on your screen. Call in or send in WhatsApp messages, and we're here to talk to you. Now, the committee set up by the president, constituted of the former Benue governors, Akume, Suswam, and Otom, and also traditional leaders, Tortiv and Ochodoma, and federal officials. Let's take the next call. Good morning. Hello? Yes, good morning.
Yeah, please, morning. I'm calling from Benue.
Thank you. Go ahead.
My name is Austin One.
Good morning, Austin. Thank you for joining us from Benue. How was the president's visit yesterday? Did it make the people of Benue feel comforted?
The visit of president did not give any good result. I'm in the opinion that the issue of the cattle runners in Benue State or all over Nigeria is affecting the whole Nigeria. What I'm even saying that is that everybody, if you want to rear your animals, you rear it in your state it belongs to. It's your own personal business you are doing. You don't cross another person's state and you stop that person. When the person says no, you start fighting the person and start killing them. The issue is that to make this be raised, our National Assembly needs to pass a bill concerning this cattle runners in Nigeria. Rear it in your own state. Whatever comes out in your state is for your own. You don't need to come and use and force somebody in his own father's land so that the person will allow you to come and graze there. If they will do this, peace will reign in Nigeria. It's not only in Benue State, only.
All right, thank you very much there, Austin, for your thoughts. But you didn't throw light on the question that was being asked. So we're asking, what should the committee focus on? Although you said that should be one of the things they could address too, because it's a national issue and not just a Benue issue. Thank you so much for your thoughts. Let's take the next call. Good morning, Ade. Good morning, Ade. Can you hear me? Hello, good morning. All right, we seem to be having a bit of network glitch this morning because it seems like all calls are just ending abruptly. So you could try both numbers or send messages on WhatsApp, and we're here to take it. Now, one of the things the president also did, aside inaugurating this committee or, forming this committee. Hello? Yes, good morning.
Hello, good morning. My name is Tony. I'm calling from Benue State.
Good morning. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Well, committee or no committee, what some of us expected to push those people out, those people that do this. Even if the community of somebody will get it, that doesn't mean somebody will put law into his hand and start massacring people, killing people. As if, even chicken, you can't kill an animal in dozen like that. There's something there is a total.
Oh man, it seems we're still. All right, we're having a little bit of struggle with our reception this morning, and I would like to say it's from both ends. So yes, while we're still taking calls, do also try the WhatsApp route and send in your messages via WhatsApp. Can you turn down the volume of your TV set and tell us your name and where you're calling from? Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
I am Mrs. Adam. I'm calling you from.
From where?
I'm calling you from Otukura.
Thank you so much for calling us. Go ahead with your thoughts.
My honest opinion is this: the leaders are not doing the people the right thing. Because from the beginning, when the Fulani herdsmen came, the leaders welcomed them. And they welcomed them with open arms. And this is something that is affecting everybody now. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead. All right. Thank you there for your thoughts. We are focused on agenda for peace. What should Tinubu's Benue committee focus on? We're trying to, proffer a solution to what is happening. What should they focus on? Let's take the next call. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning, Lilian. This is Shetima Kujima calling from Maiduguri.
Good morning, Shetima. Thank you for joining us now. Go ahead with your thoughts.
Well, honestly, Lilian, this issue is the warrant a committee. But besides the fact that we don't have elaborated the committee, there is nothing we can do. We pray for the committee to achieve the desire and the purpose that they have been expressed. First and foremost, the committee is supposed to focus on where these people are. Let them know their locations, let them identify their hideout, so that this is not the issue of sitting down and a committee table, sipping tea, taking a juice. Not work that way. It is time for action. It is time for action. Let all the youth in Benue organize themselves. Let the state governor give them a maximum cooperation of all what they desire. In the issue of defending yourself, even a strong, can serve as a weapon. As we did in Nigeria, you take your cutlasses, take your anything that you have, try and allocate their hideout and attack them. This is a time of action. It's not a time of just an elaborating committee, blah, 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 making noise. So it is time for action. So as I said yesterday, a tree of liberty can only be watered and life and growth for the coming generation to enjoy the shelter. If at all Benue youth want to bring peace for themselves, because by all indications, the man has failed. The man has failed. Whether we like it or not, the man has failed. Because with all these killings, all the time people are dying. But you see, this is the time whereby you can make an urgent action. Not a committee. Not a committee. But we sincerely appreciate the way and manner he had visited the Benue for that presidential conference. But even though he had come late, next time we are calling for Mr. President to please and please whatever happens in any part of this country, let him be there on time so that he condemn the people. So so that condolence can bring just a leap in the mind of the people. And the governor of the state, let him wake up. If you don't know what they are doing, let him come to Professor Zulum and ask. And you know that Professor Zulum was in the bush for 8 years, together with the army and our civilian soldiers, wanting attack, camp to camp, after they destroy all the camps that Boko Haram have, before he returns to the government house. 8 years he was in the bush with a one shirt. So this is the leadership that we are looking for. This is the leadership that every state desire to have. So we should do something, please. We should do something to respect peace in Benue. Thank you so much. May Allah bring peace and may Allah bring sanity to all Nigerians. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
Thank you very much, Shatima, and have a great day to you. You know, he's made a couple of salient points there. So to other callers, do well to call in and let's hear your thoughts. We have our WhatsApp messages, which we will be taking shortly. So do well to send in your messages and we'll take them, you know, right after most likely the next call. So the question still stands: what should the elders in Benue State focus on? You know, the committee of elders of Benue elders being, you know, inaugurated and being, you know, pushed as part of the agenda for peace by the president, saying that it should be spearheaded by the governor, and has the former governors Otom Suswam and Akume as members of the committee, including traditional leaders and federal bodies. What do you think they should focus on? Is it land reforms? Is it justice for victims? Is it resettlement plans, or strengthening local security and dialogue? Let's hear from the next caller. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning. I'm Abdullahi Abubakar calling from Benue State.
Good morning, Abdullahi. How is Benue State this morning?
So Benue State is calm. We are in a real sorrow for what happened to us in Benue State.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead with your thoughts on the question being asked.
This committee has a lot of work to do. The committee, they should know that this between farmers and headers crisis. Those headers have been staying in the axis of Benue, Nasarawa for more than 50 years. And whenever anything is going to happen, they operate very easily into Benue State. And the security agents in those areas, they are lacking. They are too mega, they are too small to control those people. So the first thing that this committee is supposed to do is to redeploy security agencies within the Benue and Benue Nasarawa axis, so that to block the leakage of those people coming into it. Because there are some headers, the Fulani people that have been staying in Benue for more than 60 years. They are staying with the T people and without problems. The T people know them, and the Fulani people know them, and they have been staying in peace up to today. They are still in Benue State. If you go to the Naka side, they are there. If you go to the Agatu side, they are there. Those of them that they sign a peace agreement, they are staying with them in peace. But those ones that normally come through the axis of Nasarawa, they are the causes of most of all these problems. And the uniform men we have in Benue State cannot be able to meet up with those people because they are too small to attack them. They cannot do them anything because they are too small to tackle the issue. So my advice on this committee, no matter how the situation is, they will still go back to dialogue. If you call those ones that signed peace agreement with them in Benue State, the Fulani people, and they call the head of the farmers, so that they see anybody coming outside Benue State into Benue as a header, they should be thoroughly investigated until they agree with the rules and regulations given to him before entering Benue State. And the committee, they should not be biased within themselves. Because Mr. President knows that they can do it. That's why Mr. President elects them to be the committee for this matter. So they should try by all means to unite themselves first. If not, if there is faction between them, to be clear, the committee are not going anywhere. They should only come and sit and during their tea, write their report and go back to Abuja. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us more peace in Benue State, all the local government, including the state headquarters Makurdi. Thank you, Nigeria. Thank you, Trust TV. Thank you, Benue State.
Thank you, Abdullahi, there for your thought and your calls and your submission. You've made selling points that have or that should, matter to Nigerians at this point in time. Talking about, these communities in this several tribes have been in a cordial relationship for time immemorial. So what changed? What made a difference? And you also laid emphasis on the fact that the committee has a lot of work on their hands, and it's not just about a talk shop or writing a report and coming back to the federal government and doing absolutely nothing. The people of Benue State are looking for a result. So there's this question that's been in my head all through, the committee of elders, is it a hope for the people of Benue, or is just a mere hype? And as Nigerians, in our way of holding them accountable, how soon should we expect a measurable result or a measurable outcome from the committee of elders in Benue? Are they even credible members of that committee? When I saw the list of people that were in that committee, from Otom to Suswam to Akume, during the tenureship of all these governors, they had serious issues like this, and it wasn't necessarily incompletely handled or a solution was given. What is the guarantee that being part of this committee, they would still find a solution when they couldn't find it when they were governors? Let's take the next call. Good morning.
Tony is back on the line.
Good morning, Tony Eze. Thank you for calling back. Go ahead with your thoughts now.
Well, to me, this is no issue of committee. In this country, let us do something in the right way. If somebody offend Tony should follow the proper way, not by going to jail, taking law into my own. And if anybody took law into his hand, no government to deal with the person, so that another person by the side will not do the same thing. If after killing those multitude of people in the water, and then the end is taking committee, there is people by the side that will still do the same thing tomorrow, because they knew if they do it, they will go free. I don't know the essence of committee. And to me, there is nothing that we expect, that there is no expectation from this thing that they will have a good thing coming out of it. It's a security matter, and the armed forces should deal with the situation. So that next day, nobody will try the same thing. But you see, it happened in Jos, they are free. It happened in Benue, they are free. It happened in Taraba, they are free. It happened in different places, people are free. So we are living in a country that can do something and get out of it. It's quite unfortunate too. Good morning.
Good morning, Tony Eze. Thank you for your thoughts there, saying that, at the end of the day, these people are still walking free. And Nigerians need to see that arrests are being made. People are being persecuted and justice is being served. Now, let's take the WhatsApp messages we have for you this morning. Kicking off with the first one from Eugene Terungwa from Jos. He says, good morning. The Elders Committee should look at all that is involved in the peace process, but most importantly, the resettlement aspect, because these people are mostly farmers who farm not just for themselves, but to contribute to feeding the state and nation at large. So the earlier they are resettled, the better. Thank you very much, Eugene, for that different thought to the conversation this morning. We have the next message from Malam Malaki from Kafanchan in Kaduna. He said, good morning, Trust TV. The setting of a committee by Mr. President, to me, is a waste of time and resources. Is it peace between people of Benue and their attackers who are not known? Committees of such formed in various parts of our dear country have never come up with any positive results. My suggestion is that Benue State and its people should develop their security outfit as they have tried before during the administration of Buhari, and which was refused to thrive due to political differences between the state and the federal governments then. To help them tackle this menace, please. Thank you very much, Malam Malaki, there for your thoughts. He has said that Benue State should rather tackle this with their own security outfit to see the difference and to see how they could have a common ground and work together, which is actually, something that should be looked into. How else can they put in their own security outfit? And I asked the question, this elder committee, what difference would it make to the nation? What difference would it make? Let's take our last caller before we take the concluding WhatsApp messages we have. Good morning. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Ade from London, Lilian. The line will talk because the network was bad.
Yes, good morning, Ade. Thank you for calling back. Now go ahead.
Okay, my point is this. What the president, the address he made yesterday about the committee, or generally, if I was the president, I would do the same thing. Because somebody is going to seek for re-election, he has to be very careful with every word he wants to speak about. Every word. So it's a political statement. That's number one. Number two, the job of the committee is just to settle the rancors among the governors and the SGF and others. That's why the president insisted that all the former governors should be part of the meeting. So that once they are united, this problem will be solved easily. Number three, the president knows what to do, but he can't do it now. Somebody is looking for election. If he can't do it, I understand that they failed the speech. So I understand what is happening. You understand? So let them unite. Once they are united, this problem will be halfway solved. That is the governor and the SDF. Settle your rancor with the former governors and let's be together and the problem will be over. The president has done what he can do. That's what he can see. But if he was on second term, I'm sure he will say what he said yesterday. He will take more drastic action. So he can't do that now. Then let's be praying for Nigeria, praying for Benue. All will be well. God bless Nigeria.
God bless Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. All will be well indeed. Thank you very much, Ade, for that. Now, Ade said political rancors should be settled because we know that it is just beyond farmer herders. There's also political godfatherism and political rancor that is going on in Benue State that needs to be looked into critically with, a mirror. Now, let's take the concluding WhatsApp messages we have. This is from Jang from Gada. I said the visit of Mr. President is very commendable. That's from Ajang from Gada, Jos East. We also have anonymous from Mubarak Isa Abubakar. He said the committee should thoroughly investigate the root causes of the violence with a specific focus on the calculated and well-planned attack described by the Tor Tiv. Additionally, it must prioritize inclusive stakeholder engagement involving farmers, herders, youth, women, religious leaders, and the media to promote mutual understanding and sustainable solutions. Thank you very much, Isa Mubarak, all the way from Jos. He has said all parties need to be put in place to find a common ground. We have from Dr. Livingstone. He said, greetings, Daybreak. We're not ready to stop this menace. When we are ready, first the government will ban open grazing nationwide. Let herders engage in ranching as it is done worldwide and declare these killers as terrorists, period. We're looking at the committee. We hope we have a couple of members of the committee listening. Nigerians are saying, this is what you should do and this is how you should go about it. That way we might find a solution. What is happening is not peculiar to just Benue. It's happened in other states. From Isamam and from Nasarawa, Niger State, he said the Meiti Allah's official and farmer association should be co-opted into this committee. I remember part of what the president listed was other parties and other states and other indigenes should be included. He called for inclusivity in the community to find a solution. So yes, that was mentioned by the president, and we're watching to see. We have the next message from Badamasi Haruna from the FCT. He said, what matters most is the implementation of the committee. Lack of discipline and impunity is always a threat to the fight against insecurity in Nigeria. And the final message we'll be taking this morning is from Stanley from Cameroon. He said, the committee thing will and has never worked. The government should allow the people to protect themselves. We spoke about self-defense yesterday. We looked at what it constituted and what it meant. And he also said, and also it's like the governor of Benue is confused on what to do, or was he not prepared to be a governor? Valid question. There are a lot of people are questioning the governor and questioning previous governors and questioning. When it comes to issues like this, you question, the role of the governor as, this is your role of your life to protect lives and properties of the people, role of your office rather, to protect the lives and properties of the people in that state. So what is happening? What are you doing differently? Why aren't we seeing seeing the dividends of democracy, which we voted you in for. But in the end of the day, I would say this: Nigerians are watching. Nigerians want to see that there is a difference. Nigerians want to see that. Nigerians want to feel the dividends of democracy. And it is sad that we had over 150 to 200 lives taken because of negligence. These people came en masse. They passed through borders, they passed through security checks and went to a community and ended lives who had future. Is a committee enough to find a solution to that? At this point, Nigerians want to see justice. So the committee is being watched with keen eyes. Well, we're going on a quick break now. When we get back, we'll be going to our topic for the discussion segment with our guests in the studio. And no, it's not on Benue, it's going to be on politics. So do stay tuned, we'll be right back.